Hello, today we're going to talk about exterior modifications on your G-Wagon. Today we have a really unique and rare example. You may have seen this in some of the other videos, but this is a 2000 model G500 short wheelbase hardtop. As I've mentioned before, there's only about 10 of these in the United States. I've had 9 of them in the shop. I'm looking for the 10th one. We have this truck completely stripped down, and this is what it looks like before it goes over to paint. As I said before, some things may look pretty good up close and at first, but as you start to peel back the onion, there's a lot more underneath the skin. This is a prime example of a truck that didn't look all that bad, but the more we poked, the more we prodded, we found some imperfections that needed to be addressed. And this is a case where it's got to get ugly before it gets better. I'm Joe Gosher, Alliance Auto, nothing but G's here in Loveland, Colorado. Let's go over some details of what we're doing to this truck and the importance of it. First and foremost, it's 040 black, classic Mercedes, classic color. It's a good looking vehicle. We've had this truck through here a couple times, and it is time for what we call the exterior cosmetic refresh. And this is one where the client and we had a discussion about what his expectations are and what his vision is of the vehicle at the end of the day. And there's a couple things that's triggering us to go to this extent. So first and foremost, we have some paint that is, for lack of better words, imperfect. It's got a lot of scratches. It has a lot of little bubbles. It has things all over. Every body panel on this vehicle, it's a little dirty now because it rained the other day, but every panel has imperfections, including the roof. And rather than trying to spot check all those separate areas, we deemed it's better to go ahead and strip the truck down, take it down to bare metal, and start over with it. And I'm going to show you why. So moving around up front, and to harp on the thing we always talk about, we found this, our typical rust. And this is actually an interesting one because the only evidence that we actually had any problems whatsoever was a little bubble right here, and then over on that corner where we've got some bubbling going on. Otherwise, there was zero indicator that there was actually an issue going on with this front windscreen. So I really am glad that we pulled this because this is going to require quite a bit of repair. Overall, it doesn't look like it's too bad on this side. We will actually physically cut that area out and form a whole new panel to go in there because that is not something that we want to leave in the truck. We want to basically cut that out to where we have fresh sheet metal, and it's all 20 gauge steel, and we're going to TIG weld in new material, coat it from the back side, spray some Cosmoline in there, and completely seal it before we actually primer it and shoot it with color and clear. So this is a pretty major area we want to take care of. The other thing you can't really see because there's some dust on it, but the hood is scratched pretty severely all over. Basically, it looks like, you know, someone was shoveling snow off of it with a shovel, and there's scratches all through. So little things like that we address at one point in time to get everything squared away. Also, the roof on this, and you're going to notice I keep pointing to the roof, and I say that's important, but that's one of the most underlooked areas of all these vehicles. So it's not uncommon to have a lot of issues up on the roof of your G-Wagon. And this is a good example. This looks like it got caught on a garage door. It was just low, and it scratched from the sunroof panel all the way back. The other area that we have to be careful of is this leading edge, or I'm sorry, the trailing edge of the sunroof opening. This catches a lot of debris and a lot of area. That's an area where paint will commonly flake off and cause some issues. So we're going to go ahead and reshoot the entire roof also. We did go ahead and pull the seal out of the sunroof and made sure this is loose. We're not actually going to pull the sunroof out of the vehicle, though we can move it up and down. But we've had great success with leaving this in and spraying them as one complete unit. We'll certainly mask around it. But a couple of light repairs up here. There's no rust or corrosion, but it definitely went through to the primer. But moving around the rest of the truck, I want to take this time to showcase the level of detail we go to ensure that we have complete coverage all over. So aside from there being zero glass inside the vehicle, we pull everything off. The door handles are off, the door cards are out, the glass is out, the seals are out, even the little buttons in the side of the doors are completely out. Notice the inner side panels are out on this vehicle. Commonly, we will pull the seats out also, in fact, because this vehicle recently had new seats put in. These are re-leather. These are really factory fresh. We're going to pull these out just to protect them, make sure they don't get loaded with body shop dust and all that fun stuff. But the reason you have to actually pull the side panels out, whether you have a short wheelbase or long wheelbase, is to get these glass panels out. It's a double lip seal. So the seal not only holds the glass in, but it also holds the panels in. So you have to pull one to get to the other and vice versa. So we take that time, we just pull the seats out, we pull everything out. That way we don't have to worry about taping stuff off, and we have complete access to every single area of the vehicle. Moving around to this side, you can see we pull off all of the rubber stripping here. This is just the rubber double stick tape. We have to peel that off as well. But it's not uncommon to get a lot of stuff hiding underneath this. So I'm glad we do that as well. And this stuff is easily replaceable. Being as MB USA still sells this, a lot of times if it is pretty rough looking, we'll go ahead and replace it. It just completely brings the truck up to modern day standards. The other areas that catch a lot of corrosion, and when you can see it on this one, we've got a little bit, is this rocker panel step. This is a piece of rubber that's infused with aluminum that Mercedes puts on here to act as the lower bumper. And at first glance, it doesn't look like there's much damage, but you've got a good bit of rust right there. And notice all these holes have corrosion starting right around the inside. This one, this one, this one. This is stuff that you don't typically see unless you do what's called exploratory surgery. So in a case like this, where it's not all the way through, your first question is, how do you fix this? And this can be done a couple different ways. Now, being as we're going to go ahead and shoot this entire vehicle and completely do the whole thing at once, it's a little bit different step. But if we were just to isolate this one area, like if you had a vehicle and you notice you've got some of this action going on, you can spot check this pretty easily. And this is where, being as it's more surface related, we will certainly sand this down, use some phosphoric acid, and then use a primer and a base coat and a little bit of sealer on there, and away you go. And then same goes for the inside. If this is open, you can basically shoot some phosphoric inside of there. If you are down the barrier, you can shoot it with some black and then hit it with some Cosmoline, and you'll be squared away from there. So it can certainly be spot checked, but this is the prime opportunity just to handle everything all at once. The mirrors are off this truck. Again, occasionally we see some stuff here, and it's more due to dissimilar materials. This one is in really good shape, so not a whole lot to worry about. But the main thing is the front of these vehicles, they're really susceptible to a lot of really bizarre and funky stuff. So, okay, one other thing that's really important whenever we do a full exterior refresh on this is there is some mechanical aspects we always look at really closely. Now that we have the front end off of the truck, being as the grille, the headlight surrounds, the bumper, etc., you can really get a up close and personal look at all the cooling system and its overall condition. This is an example where it's actually in really good shape, so we don't have a lot to address here. Up front, this is zip tied up because this is the oil cooler that normally sits inside the bumper. But what we look for on this is any kind of corrosion, if it's leaking or giving us any grief. If this is the time to replace it because A, it's out, it's available, and it's easy, low-hanging fruit. So definitely take care of it while we got it out. Another thing that we commonly see are, we want to look at our cooling fans. These are actually for the AC system. These kick on whenever on a hot day when you have the AC or the truck gets really hot, you'll hear these fire off. As these trucks age, these fail, and they're kind of a pain to get to. So again, before we get too far down the line, we always test this stuff to make sure that it's fully functional, it doesn't do anything weird, and it's going to provide years of trouble-free service. The little caveat to that, though, is where we see this flaking and corrosion on the actual frame of this. And this is something that we will certainly address while we have it apart, but this is not good. This is stuff that's just going to keep spreading and get all over the place. So because we have this vehicle apart and it is going to get a full exterior refresh, we're going to take this opportunity to pull these fans. We're going to sandblast this housing and shoot this housing also, just with a fresh industrial black, so we don't have any more of this corrosion going on. It's one of those little steps that 99% of people likely will never see. But again, we know it's never going to come back with an issue of this thing rusting out and having to replace the whole thing down the road. So that's why we do it like that. Also, I see we've got a little bit of action going on here on the power steering cooler, so we're going to sand that down and take care of that. That's what this is. This is the power steering cooler, just a big line. So it's under the surface. We do it. We don't usually tell you about it, but we just don't want it coming back or someone else saying, hey, dude, you forgot about this. So we just handle it. So that's why. We got the badging off, and you just get a better visual. This side also has a similar rocker panel type of scenarios going on where it's starting to come out. So we have had this truck in the past. We've also done the frame mitigation. It had a little bit of issues going on with the rear shock mounts and shock towers, and those are all brand new and everything's protected. So now it's time to move on to the rest of the equation. So anyway, to summarize, let's go over a couple key things to consider if you were to pick up the phone and call me, or you're to have your local paint shop take care of your G-Wagon. There's no wrong answer here. Before I get into this, I will say it's not a fast process. It takes time. So We're going to go over this from the mindset of if you have a collector vehicle, either a short wheelbase, a cabriolet, a PUR, or something really super rare and special, and you want to really bring it back to full steam, or you want to do a complete custom build, this is what it looks like and why you want to do it. So first and foremost, I have address all the issues, and this is all encompassing. This means if you have any rust, any corrosion, any paint issues, anything to do with this, if something doesn't look right, or if it's been repainted in the past and you have a weird color variation or a side tone that doesn't quite match, this is where you want to do it. Address everything. This is the perfect time to do it. Second thing is, when we blast the whole truck apart like this, it ensures that we can have an absolute perfect paint match. Anytime we do a color change also, this is what the formula looks like. This is the only way that we can guarantee that we have a consistent spray, the consistent paint mix, and a consistent color. Metallics are really difficult because they lay down differently based on even if the panel is vertical or horizontal, so things you got to take into account. Hence the reason you want to do it all at once. The next item, exterior refresh and facelift. This is one of those key things that I talk to people before we embark on this, is if we're going to go through the effort and completely refresh the exterior of the vehicle, and by refresh, I don't mean just the paint. In this particular case, we are also going to replace all the door seals, all the rubber gaskets, even the little rubber gaskets that go around your door handles, they get replaced. They're 25 years old, they dry out, they crack, and they let water and other contaminants get inside the vehicle. So this is the time to do it. It does cost some extra money, but it costs more money after the fact if you had an issue. So that's why we do it now. The other thing that I want to come back to is exterior refresh and facelift is the facelift part of the equation. This is a 2000 model vehicle, so it has the old Mercedes style grille with the little chrome streaks, and it looks period correct, but in some people's eyes it's dated. This is the opportunity where if you would like to add wider fender flares, change your grille, change your bumper, change your headlights, change anything on the exterior truck, now's the time to do it. There's no additional labor charge to do it, being as we're extracting everything off the vehicle and doing it all in one shot. But going back together, let's paint the new parts to match your vision of the vehicle so that we can build it once and get to your end goal the first time. The other reason we do this is protecting your asset. And I say that literally. A lot of these times, these vehicles are viewed as an asset. Sure, they may not appreciate as well as some of the others on the road, but this is a great example where the vehicle is actively appreciating in value. Back in the day, it sold for X. Now it's selling for Y because, again, rarity and scarcity drive the market on this. And again, there's only 10 G500 short wheelbases in the US. And when you've got one, you want to keep it in good shape because it's only going to go up in value. Same goes for cabriolets, same goes for PURs. Protect your asset. The money that you put into something like this to make it to that final top level is going to pay dividends down the road. It's usually a better way to go. Time frame. This is the one that everyone wants to know. How long does this take? And I will say, in my world, it seems to take forever. We call it paint purgatory for a reason. Budget 4 to 8 weeks. And the reason there's a variance, it's based on time of year. It's based on if we're making any changes to the vehicle. So in other words, if we are doing a facelift, or we're doing I'll use a G63 facelift conversion, for example, or different fender flares. Sometimes we do need to source parts, and Mercedes is kind of funky as far as parts availability on some stuff. It's not uncommon. I'll get 3 fender flares, and I'm waiting on the 4th for 2-3 weeks. We do our best to pre-order a lot of that so we can mitigate that moving forward, but you run into stuff. The other reason I say give some time on this is it's not uncommon for us to reject a paint job. There's another video where we had our blue cabriolet, and I rejected the first paint job on that. To my painter's credit, he did knock it out of the park. I think it was more of a communication issue, but the first one came through and there was just too many blemishes that I didn't care for, and I flat out rejected it and hadn't painted it again. So it happens. I don't like it when it happens, but if you're trusting us to take care of your vehicle and your asset, we want to make sure that we can provide you that end product and that end result that you want. So that's why we do it. Cost investment. This is a tricky one. If we're doing something, we'll call it a half paint job, or we have, let's say we have doors that need to be shot or something like that, it can be as little as 10,000 bucks. And that's really on the light end. That's if we're not replacing any rubber pieces. That's if we're taking care of areas here and there on the vehicle. On a vehicle like this, where you're blowing the whole thing completely apart, it can get up there. It can be as much as $30,000 by the time you add everything into it. Oftentimes, there's the need versus the want category in this, and this is where it's really important to differentiate. Before someone out there says, "Oh my gosh, I can have it done at my local guy for 5,000 bucks," great, I'm sure you can. However, on a vehicle like this, I'm going to emphasize we are doing the face upgrade. There's a cosmetic upgrade. There's fender flares. There's not only a bumper, there's a substructure for the bumper. There's a bull bar. There's a grill guard. There are new headlights. There are headlight surrounds, LEDs that go with it. I mean, there's a whole front end package that goes in with this, and those pieces add up. Aside from that, the rubber molding for each one of the door seals is expensive. Just case in point, the weather stripping for the rear door on this is over $550. So it adds up pretty fast. There's a lot of time, there's a lot of materials involved, but again, we want to make sure it's done correctly. And then we have to also factor in our technician's time to meticulously put the vehicle back together and make sure everything functions. Also, the sunroof. These trucks have sunroofs. And this is a case where we have to service the sunroof assembly to make sure that it works correctly. And this one is a little sticky, so we're going to have to get in there and take care of that. So there's the need versus the want. The need cost is never, the max amount, but by the time you add in all of your wants, all your desires to get to your end goal, then it starts to make sense of why things cost the way they do. And if you look at it as an investment standpoint of you have a very rare, very collectible vehicle that is appreciating in value, the results show for themselves. We've seen these trade hands much higher to almost cover the cost of our complete paint jobs. So that's why we do it. Anyway, I hope this helps you guys. I hope it's informative and gives you a better understanding of what we do, why it takes a little bit longer, what it costs, and the level of detail that goes into this. And this is some of the preliminary steps that the vehicle looks like before it actually goes over to the body shop to have the sheet metal worked and gets stripped down to bare metal and reshot. So anyway, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Joe Gocher, Alliance Auto, nothing but G's. I'd love to hear from you. And stay tuned as we get this truck through paint and then through the reassembly process, because the transformation on this one is going to be really special. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.